I wanted to move into something you spoke on their triple triple earlier, and you have Crohn's disease. So I wanted to kind of talk about like food addiction and stuff like that because I'm actually feeling kind of shitty today due to um, I have stomach issues myself. I have GERD, which I've discussed on other podcast episodes. But for any new listeners, basically it's just a gastro issue. Think of heartburn times a million, acid pit in your stomach. You got to take a stomach pill for it daily. You got to be really smart about what you eat. And as I'm getting older, the less junk food or sugar or chocolate and whatnot sits well with me. But what I'm finding is that especially after Cooper died, I've been really struggling with my diet and really struggling with food addiction because I'm kind of just spiraled into this sugar fix that happens at every single day. Like I've developed these routines on when I would eat sugar or take in cookies or ice cream or whatever have you, and it was just comforting. So it was my way of kind of coping with his loss, was going deep into that, and now I'm finding it's really hard to step out of it. As someone that drinks triple coffees and has Crohn's disease, how does that affect you?
So it's a bit of a back and forth. I, it affects me like I'll get gut rot from it once in a while. Sometimes I kind of get a pass. I call it. If I have decaf coffee, I'm all right. I don't have decaf coffee now, but I also drink G Fuel, which is another one. It's like Monster energy drink, but it's a juice. So it doesn't have the carbonation. I don't drink pop at all. No fucking carbonation. Like very rarely will I have it, and when I do have it, it's gonna be hell for me, and I know that's what's coming. So a lot of the things that when I do, I call it break those rules. I'm like, I know what I'm in for. I guess what I mean. So it's kind of like, do I really want this? Is it going to be worth the pain and the struggle? I try and steer clear of red meats as of lately, like beef and steak and all that stuff, which has been really good. I joined a vegan group because I was going to troll it, be like, I'm a meat eater, I'm a man, you know, you sissies and all this stuff. Like that's the whole reason I joined it, right? And I was just kind of getting the feel of the group. And as I'm getting the feel of the group, I'm seeing this really good food, man. Like just like wow. You know, you see some horror shows, right? But just some of them, and then the videos that are getting shared, and like this is actually kind of interesting, you know. And so chickpeas lately, that's been one for me. I've been making like chickpea burritos and stuff, and cauliflower rice and things like that are really good. Um, I used to eat a lot of dairy products like cheese and starches like cheese, potatoes, pierogies, things like that. Not paying attention on fiber intake. I'm trying to pay attention a bit more on that. But when it comes to like the breaking the rules, I call it like the coffee and stuff. It's like I know what I'm in for. Like I, two of the things is I could either straight to the bathroom for a while, or I could fucking be all sweaty. I've been feeling amazing as of the last few days. So if I'm feeling really good, I'll kind of fucking try, you know, one of those things. But pizza's a back and forth too. Like the fucking next day after pizza, I could be just fucking out of it all day. So I try to steer clear of that, you know. And but if it's like a vegan thing, it doesn't hurt me anymore. Like the doctors were saying, don't eat raw vegetables. I'm eating a bit more raw vegetables too. Like I ate a salad like a week ago, and it was the first time I ate a salad in years, and I was fine. And they say like with Crohn's that happens at times. There's a bit of a back and forth. But as for drinking like a soda, like back in the day, I went maybe 3 years of my life. I was drinking a 2 liter of Pepsi a day.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
Yeah, I used to be this. I used to be pretty similar now that I think back on it.
yeah, you know. And then I remember I had like really bad habits. Like I'd go to a corner store, you know, get a can of chili and a big bag of fucking Doritos, and it's like nuke up the chili and other Doritos, and that would be like my fucking dinner or something, or and some days my breakfast, like just like the weirdest shit. And I remember this one time I went to work, I just had like a bag of Doritos for lunch, and the guy's like, "How the fuck do you even function? Like that's all you eat all day?" And it's like, "Yeah." So you got water? No, I got a liter of Pepsi though.
Yeah,
I hope it doesn't get warm, but if it does, I'll still fucking slam that shit. Like, and there's no way I could do that now. There's no way. Like, Yeah, like, and there's certain foods that make me tired. Like, I ate a donut. That's like Mr. T with the milk on the helicopter. It's like I know I'll go to sleep after eating a donut, or be really fucking tired. So I eat other foods that, but I do break the rules. So.
Yeah, and why do you think you do? Like, do you do it because you're looking for comfort, or do you just do it because it's like, you know what, fuck, I would like a coffee today, or I would like pizza, or whatever, and I just want to feel like normal, like regular people can just eat and drink this shit like it's no big deal.
It's strange as you say that because that's happened. That one where it's like, well, fuck this. Everyone can have pizza. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I got kids too, right? So like pizza night, everyone's eating pizza. Like, so that'll happen. Like it's kind of like it's like, well, fuck, everyone else can. So I've done that, and also two cravings like Krispy Kreme donuts. That's a perfect example. You can't get them in my town. There's this guy who actually has a little business going on where he goes and he fills up his car with them. And he's got a Facebook group and he tells you when he's gonna fucking deliver them, and you place an order with him. So I'll get a dozen donuts and the family goes, family, we all have a donut and whatnot, and then I have two donuts and I fall asleep. Like they're Krispy Kreme donuts, and I fuck, man, like I don't know, man. That's just they're Krispy Kreme donuts. I'll eat those all day. I love those things, man. But yeah, that one's just like a craving. But I have had that before. Like you go somewhere and it's like a buffet, and it's like everyone's getting all the fucking the cool food or whatever. Well, maybe not cool food, but look, it's like better than what's available that you can eat. And you're just like, well, I'm gonna have some of this anyways, and then you regret it later on, and everyone's kind of like, what the fuck's your problem? Like, how'd you get sick? We didn't get sick. Like,
Because I'm not supposed to eat this shit, but I did anyway.
yeah,
No, I feel you. And honestly, I don't even want to blame all of my sugar intake and whatnot in my routines with it in the evening on just coping with loss and stuff like that. I just really, really, I go through like a phases of addiction, and cigarettes was my longest, almost 20 years. Or no, it was 20 years that I smoked cigarettes before quitting. And then I moved, that was the longest addiction that I've kept. And then once I got rid of that addiction, I moved over to just vaping with nicotine. And that was actually even harder to come off of. I only did it for 1 year and I came right off of it. I played around with it during my days of smoking, but never like fully went crazy with vapes. I would for like a month or 2 month stretch where all I do is vape, but I went 1 year, and coming off of that was even worse. And then I think when I did come off of that, I went more towards foods and stuff like that, because then I've noticed that I've had just, I would have my dinner, and rather than going for a cigarette or going for vape, I'm now having like cookies, or I'm now having a dessert or something sweet, something sugary. And then now that's kind of become my new crutch, my new replacement. And it's been very hard for me to shake. I've been trying to shake it off. And even last night, I did a horrible job with it last night. And I got to stop doing it because it's almost like self sabotage. Like, I understand the consequences or what's going to happen here, but I keep trying to roll the dice every time. And then I have moments like today where I feel like absolute shit, and it's 2:07 p.m. right now, and I haven't had any food, and I have no ambition of eating anything today because I need what's called a reset day, where I just don't eat anything at all, and all I do is just drink water and water and water all day and flush my system out so I could start fresh tomorrow. And it's just like a waste of a day, and I'm getting tired of doing it. So I've made some changes to my routine this week for work, and they've been really great. I've been waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and then I'd go for a run, and then I'd come back, and then I would do some meditation. I would do some journal entry, just practicing gratitude, and just a great way to start my day. And I found I had more energy as the day went, and I was more disciplined with my meals and whatnot. And even with my treats afterwards, like I would have my dinner. Usually I would go straight to eating a dessert. Now I space it out and give it some time before I have that dessert. And then I'm much more portion controlled on the dessert, but I'm not showing any signs of discipline on the weekends. Unfortunately, I thought I could be a little bit loose on weekends, but that's like a cigarette smoker saying, "Oh, I'll only have a couple and not buy a pack." So I have to now move my routine into like a 7 day routine, and for a while before I can curb this shit, because I went crazy yesterday. Donuts is one of my biggest ones, and the old man, he goes out and buys these fucking awesome donuts from the superstore, like sprinkle Homer Simpson donuts, and they're so fresh and so delicious. I'm drooling right now just thinking about them. That's how fucking awful and amazing they are. But yeah, I helped myself to a couple of those, and then it was like an ice cream bar here, and then an ice cream bar later, and then I'm having handfuls of cherry blasters and all this shit, and it just doesn't stop. And then, like you said, I go to sleep, and then I even sleep on a wedge so that my body is elevated some, so that my stomach doesn't always give me as much issues, and it helps, but it's not a magic cure. So of course, woke up this morning feeling like complete shit, like acid all in my stomach, like a whole entire lava pit, and it's just awful. And it takes a whole day to recover from, but the purpose of talking about this is that if anyone can relate to this stuff, again, leave us some comments and let us know, because sometimes you just feel like super alone when it comes to like stomach stuff, and that's kind of what made you and I connect and whatnot and bond, is over our own stomach journeys and whatnot. So I'm sure you can relate a lot to what I just said as well.
Yeah, I'm kind of opposite doing good. So like how donuts will make me go to sleep. Like I'll eat something I know that makes me fall asleep, and I'm like, I'm gonna go for a walk and I'm gonna exercise. That way I don't fall asleep. So I'm like, I'm kind of there. I just gotta stop eating the sweets and go and go and exercise, right? The other one too, sour candies. Man, like sour Skittles, eat them till
Ooh,
my mouth bleeds. Like that's just the way to go.
fucking
And
love
it's
sour Skittles.
it's a total no. Like I should not be eating those, especially in the quantities, right? But yeah, those, yeah, and cherry blasters and you know, sour patch kids
Sour Patch
and
Kids. Yeah, I was just into the
yeah.
tropical ones last night. Ooh.
I want to get my hands on some warheads because I haven't had those in a long time.
You know where they're actually bomb at the Dollarama, and it's do you guys have, yeah, you guys have Dollaramas out there, right?
There's Dollar Tree, Dollarama.
Okay, yeah, I
Yeah,
don't want to sound like I'm ignorant, but I just know that you guys have like London Drugs. You guys have, as an example, we don't have London Drugs out
really?
here.
Wow.
Yeah, so there's certain things that are regional to that province, or even just Western Canada. Like there's differences between Eastern and Western. We don't really have co-ops either, where there's a lot of co-ops out in the West. But anyway, I don't want to get too much into a tangent on that. So, have you had Warhead sour keys?
No, I love sour keys.
Don't, because they're not for you. They're not for me, but they're so fuck. Especially if you get them when they're fresh, dude. There's nothing. There's not. There is a couple sour candies. I love blue raspberry sours. Whether you get them in like the blue sour feet, or whether you just get them in like the little tiny, like almost Swedish berry. I'm drooling like a motherfucker talking about candy.
And then some people, there's a certain amount of people that say that there isn't a freshness when it comes to candy. There fucking damn well is. There is. There's
I
like,
will.
it's like this factory sweetness, and there's a whole other difference on the palate, not this dry, hard fucking shit. Like, you remember you get those marshmallow bananas back in the day? You know, they're 5 cents candy, and then you get those ones that are fucking rock hard and they'll like break your teeth. Same with the little red strawberries or whatever
Yeah,
the
they're like
fuck
the
they're
little
called.
strawberry puffs. Yeah.
Yeah, you fuckers that don't think there's a freshness, you can have those ones.
Yeah, straight up, and we will leave the good fresh ones that come. Oh yeah, especially with gummy bears. Like you said, there could be like a rock hard gummy bear, but if you get a nice soft, chewy gummy, like Homer Simpson, oh, gummy Venus. You know? Everyone can relate to Homer Simpson in some way or form, and in his love and relationship with food, I'm there.
Yeah, those donuts are good too. McDonald's has one of those donuts. It kind of went downhill, but I remember when it first came out, that was something I was really into. Their pink donut they have.
Dude, McDonald's donuts are fucking incredible. Like, I'll give them a lot of credit. Their donuts are actually, they're pretty awesome. I must say.